Alright, so now that we went over the basics of web SQL storage, we're going to start our sticky note app. Alright, so I have an example here. Well, I have the app here in a folder called Stickies, and you can see it's very small. I actually have all the JavaScript inside of the index.html file. Alright, and this stickies.manifest, this is so we can use the app cache or the application cache feature of HTML5, and that allows us to use our application offline. Okay, now the manifest is very simple. Let me just open it up here at Notepad++, and you can see all we need to do is use this cache manifest title, and then we can have a version. Alright, so this is version 1. And then you just want to include the files aside from the index file. Okay, so this is a very, very small example. We have an images folder which has, actually, you know what? We should add these images as well. Let me do that real quick. Alright, so you just want to say, you just want to specify your folders, and let's see, corkboard.jpg and images/board.jpg. Alright, so all the images, and we have a CSS file with one style sheet. Alright, so that's in there as well. So that's all you have to do to create an application cache manifest. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out the application. Actually, I already have some notes here. Let me just clear these out real quick. And I apologize if anything seems a little clunky or slow. This virtual machine has been giving me some issues lately. So what am I doing? Let's open up that index page again. Alright, so basically it gives us a note to start with, as long as we don't have anything saved, as I just did, but I just cleared it out. So now we have one notepad, or one sticky note. Alright, and it gives us down here, we have a footer with the last modified date and time. Alright, so you know when you created the note. And we can give a note, I guess, a title. Let's say home stuff. Alright, and then we can say maybe pick up kids, cook dinner. Alright, and then we may have another note, so we just click this button and it pops up another note for us, and we could call this one work stuff, and we could say maybe meeting with boss, I don't know, presentation. Alright, so we can have these different, we can make lists. We can actually put whatever we want in here. We can even put HTML. Alright, so now if we go ahead and click F12 in Chrome and we go to the Chrome tools and click on the resources tab, you can see we can check out our web SQL right here, and we have a database called Note Test. Alright, and that's the database that we'll be creating in our script. If we click that, we have a table called My Stickies. Alright, if I click on that, you can see all of our entries, well, all of our stickies as a field inside of these in this table. Alright, so we have an ID. So this sticky has an ID of 1. The note is actually whatever we type inside. So we have a title, and then every other line after the title is going to have a div tag wrapped around it. Alright, and that's because that's the way we put it in our script. That way you can style each item if you would like. Alright, so we also have a timestamp. We have some coordinate columns here. Left top basically is the pixels of the note, so that when you exit the application and you come back, your notes are in the same place. And then we have a z-index, which makes it so that the most recent notes can go over I'm sorry, not the most recent, whatever note you have clicked, when you click on it and hold it, it'll go over the other ones. Okay, so that's basically our database, and we'll be creating that either this video or the next video. But before we do that, what I'd like to do is just design the interface. Alright, I like to do interface first before we actually apply our programming. Alright, and let me just show you that if we exit out and then we go back in, our notes are still there. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our folder. Alright, so this stickies folder I'm going to rename to finished, and then we'll create a new folder for us to work with. Okay, so very simple structure. We'll have a CSS folder, we'll have an images folder, and I'm actually going to create a JavaScript folder and put our JavaScript inside of there, because I don't really like the idea of having it all smushed into the HTML file. Alright, so now we need our index.html, and we also need our manifest file, which I showed you. It's very simple, so I'm actually just going to copy it. It's so simple that I don't even want to type it out again. Alright, so let's open up the HTML and get started. Alright, so let's paste in our shell. We'll give it a title of just stickies, and we want to link to our style sheet. And that's in the CSS folder. Okay, and we want to link to our JavaScript as well. I don't even think I created the file yet, but I'll call it script.js. And as far as markup, as far as the body, we have just pretty much just a button. Alright, so we're going to create a button with the ID. We'll say new note button. Alright, and then we'll have a click handler. When we click it, it'll call the new note function. Okay, and we'll make the button just say add new sticky. Okay. Alright, so let's add our CSS. We'll create a document called style.css. And I should create the JavaScript file while we're at it. And then the images I'm going to grab from the finished